Hey folks, how are you this evening? Hope you guys are having a great week. Just thought I'd jump on and do a little commentary here. I honestly can't, don't want to get I don't want to give you any false hope about the market this week, because it is Thanksgiving, holiday Thanksgiving for the U.S., and markets have been pretty interesting to say the least so far. I've been doing a lot of chopping. Let me just bring up a Forex calendar here so we can all refresh our memories about what's to come for Thursday, Friday. I know there's a bunch of Canadian dollar news on Friday. If you guys are still trading on Friday, there could be some volatility there. And then going into Thursday, it is a bank holiday for the US and for the yen. So you can see here, not a whole bunch of stuff happening. There's Euro ECB monetary policy. As I said, mentioned, the US bank holiday. There's a speaker for the Canadian central bank. And then there's some pound news. So that's that's about it. Nothing too major. Going into Friday, we have a ton of Euro news on Friday. All medium impact news events. We have OPEC meetings, and here's all that Canadian dollar news that I was talking about. The CPI meeting minutes and core retail sales numbers coming out. So the Canadian dollar Friday should jump around pretty good. I think Friday, honestly, on the Canadian dollar, I think we're going to see this thing finally pop up and take out an old previous high. I've been waiting for a while. So anyway, Thursday's trading pretty light, but that's, like I say, that's typically when they like to jam price around there on those types of days. Let me know how your video output is, guys. I'm getting a low buffering notice on my streaming thing here. So if you guys are buffering, let me know, please. It's weird. I don't know why I would be doing that all of a sudden. Oh, there we go. So it's okay now. Not too sure. Anyway, if you're having issues, just shoot me a note and I'll restart the video. That is weird. Why the hell is it doing that? Anyway, into the charts quick. So we have price finally popped out here and made a new high right here, and this was end of last week. It ripped above this high right here finally, and this high here, and didn't go anywhere. Popped up and fell back just as quickly as it ran up. So very interesting. They ran pretty deep. I didn't want to see them go any lower than the 9600 level. And for the most part, they pretty much have been respecting that level, albeit two short, quick stabs down under the 9600 level into 9590s. Like the low on this candle came in at, and which happened to be Tuesday, potential low of the week, which came in, come on, give me the price tag here. There we go. Low 95.91. So, you know, not too serious. It was down there, it was back just as quick, and you can see here it was just a stab down. So, you know, I'll be honest with you, I feel like this is poised to go higher. However, they're really trading inside right now, inside the range. So Monday was a do nothing day, and then Tuesday was the big mover, which surprised me. I was expecting further continuation down, just because of where this Monday had closed, and it ran down underneath the low here of you know, about 5 pips, rejected and went straight up, and so far Wednesday was, you know, an inside day. And I'll show you Wednesday's trading here. Pretty much sideways action, nothing too exciting happening, and then now we're still sitting in here. So you know, if this thing is going to go down, I would think it's going to make some pretty serious moves today to do it. Price came in and kind of jammed in, as you can see. See this consolidation area right here? Price sort of jammed in there, and didn't spend a lot of time. It hit it once and rejected, and now price has just sort of been hovering. So, you know, it is holiday trading. Anything's possible, but have a look at this price range here. So typically price ranges, when you see extreme lows and extreme highs like we see here, so we have an extreme low and then an extreme high. These price ranges typically will retrace back down to the origin of where they started. This guy here came down to the 79% retracement level of this big move up, and I'm just using the bodies. I'm not using, now here, that's maybe a little more accurate. I'm not considering that one stab up there as a, I'm going to consider that as a wick. But nonetheless, you can see what price did. It came all the way back down and exploded immediately right off of that 79% retracement level. I mean, almost to the pip. So when you see reactions like that, it means that price is fairly sensitive down in this area. And typically, like I say, when you have ranges like this, typically they like to come down to roughly around the origin point or the 79% retracement level. And that's what this one here did. And I can go back and kind of show you, like for instance, this move here, from this price move up here, all the way down until price pivoted again. I could probably take a fib and show you again. Price came down a little bit deeper, but for all intents and purposes, well, here it's because I got to adjust that. Pretty much right to the 79% retracement level, and then exploded back up. But again, back down to the origins of the original swing. So, you know, it's just kind of interesting to see price trading in the current range that it's in. I'm going to get rid of some of the stuff on this chart here. Now I'm starting to... If we did the same thing on this move, this price swing, we'd only be at the 50% retracement level. 79 would bring us all the way back down to almost this consolidation level down here. That is possible. I don't think it's likely, and only because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it certainly could, but just the immediate rejection off of this candle right here, I don't know. And then if you look up above and previous week, what do you see up here? Price tried to stab up above here 1, 2, 3 times, and the 3 perfect equal highs right in this area. Now I'm not suggesting for 1 second that Thursday, Friday are going to go up and take that out, but I definitely 110% think that they're going to come back up for those levels. Whether they continue up higher and get into this area, you know, that's a conversation from another day. But watch this area. Watch this level right here. See this low right here? I'm going to zoom in. Let me take this off. I don't need that anymore. And let's put one of these guys on. 96, call it 96.35. Whoops, I have a perfect zero right there. Call it 96.35 to 96.30. Watch that level. They may come down for it. If they start coming down for it early in London Open, then I would watch for a potential reversal. Like I personally believe, so one of two things. I mean, really, I believe Tuesday was the low of the week right here. Now, it is a little conflicting because Wednesday failed to get above the high from Tuesday as well, too. But for good reason. And Tuesday really came in and banged up into this previous consolidation range right over in here. And tried 1, 2, 3, 4 times to get above and failed. And only because I think they're going to come back down and rebalance this price range. How deep they're wanting to go is going to be another question. We could want to come all the way back down under this blue line to 96.20. So it's not a huge area, margin of a degree of accuracy. I mean, we're talking about a 15 pip range here. So what I'm going to be looking for is something kind of like this, for price to come down, find some support, whether or not they find support at this 96.35 level where price hit right here and rejected immediately, or if they want to come back a little bit deeper and potentially find some support off of this consolidation range in here, and then start to move like this. I just feel, I don't know. I mean, Wednesday was absolutely no indicator of what price is going to do. This is just consolidating positions and chopping sideways. And this could be because, again, U.S. Thanksgiving, you know, it's holiday trading, so it could be very, very unpredictable. It's so unpredictable to the fact where, you know, 10 times out of 10 on a normal given day, this price structure right here would lend to something like this occurring and then price moving up higher, ultimately completing this this ultimate goal up here. But because we are holidays, anything can happen. So we could jam up here and then drop. You know, I don't know. I mean, again, we're right now, we're just in the first half an hour of London Open here. So we're going to get a pretty good idea of where price wants to run early on, I believe. But don't be expecting a lot. I personally don't believe I'm going to be doing a lot of trading. I've got one trade on with the Canadian dollar right now, and I put it on in the Asian session just because I was hoping to get a bit of a runner through Asia for price to complete a small range. And it basically coincides with something very similar to this. I'll show you what it is here in a minute. It's just a demo position. I'm not risking anything with it either, so it's not like it's live funds or anything. I'd never risk live funds over going into the U.S. Thanksgiving. But it kind of coincides into this sort of thought pattern that I've got here. Now, I could be totally wrong, and if I'm wrong, price is going to come down, and it could blow this low out here. Or price could just sit here and go sideways. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things. It's this is the level I'm going to be watching. See if we get any reaction. And I don't want to see price go lower than this guy right here. See this small little patch of consolidation level right here? I don't want to see it go lower. I'd predict price to kind of stab down and then reject quickly. But if price closes lower than 96.20, let me just get a reading on that. Yeah, I mean, right around, you know, if price wants to close any lower than this swing low in here, we'll probably end up seeking lower prices for the week. And which, if that happens, you know, again, we could be trying to ultimately get below this low and then these lows into here for next week. You never know. That could definitely be on target. But I just, the way that I'm looking at price here, again, with this price swing here, the failure to get lower, the exact spot where it reversed and reversed hard, you know, the levels that I see above here that I think, and again, they haven't come back up to take any stops in this entire price swing down. So there's stops here, 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 all through down here. They haven't done a stop run. Tiny little one right here, but they didn't get above. Let me zoom in a little bit here. A tiny little stop run right here to get above these highs before this initial drop, but they didn't really get up, you know, into above this high or anything. And then price ran off very, very quickly, consolidated a drop once, twice, and then reversed. So, I don't know. I could just be building the position in my head, just, you know, and seeing something that isn't there. But I think if they were going to take this thing lower, they would have done it. And for sure, some retracement up in here would definitely be on par for a continued run lower. But just the way that, and the nature that they had reversed this, I don't know. Again, it's holiday trading, so anything could happen, but I'm going to look for something like this to happen. If it does, great. I was right. I don't know, again, I don't know that we're going to get up into here this week or anything like that, but we could see a move that does take out the high from Tuesday here. But I do like this Monday down, Tuesday down, rejection, reversal, Tuesday creating the low, Wednesday consolidation to a Thursday runner, and then Friday kind of finishing off someone here. Maybe it might pop up in here. I don't know. Crazier things have happened. I mean, if you look at this price structure here, and we get another run from, I don't know, wherever. From here, that could take us up into there, but that's just stretching. I don't know. So anyway, I've got two theories. One on Canadian dollar, which is going to happen on Friday. And I think the start of that move could happen today. I'll show you here in a minute. And then this continuing higher. And again, could be totally wrong. Could come under here and take out this swing low here and finish lower on the week. So if it's going to do it, it's going to do it today. Thursday will be the mover day, I think. Not necessarily a mover day. It is U.S. Thanksgiving, but it'd be prime time for them to manipulate the markets. And we could also see some big price fluctuations too. I mean, that's definitely not out of the question. Okay, can't really stress that. Just be cautious. Can't stress that enough. So just take it easy going into Thursday and Friday. Euro USD. So if the U.S. dollar is going to pop up, then the euro's obviously going to have to start dropping at some point in time. This, however, is giving me conflicting signals because this looks more bullish than the U.S. dollar looks bearish, if that makes sense. So what I'm trying to say is I think this to me looks like a bullish pattern. And this also looks like a bullish pattern. And we can't have the U.S. dollar and the Euro USD going in the same direction. If that happens, then they become uncorrelated and very unpredictable. And that's definitely what you do not want in trading. Just a lesson for the future. If you're ever trading off the correlation between two pairs, whether it be inversely related or prices symmetrical, then and they start to become uncorrelated and start to do erratic moves, and if it's the inverse one, like for instance the US and Euro USD, where those are inversely related, if you start seeing them both moving in tandem together, they're both going up or they're both going down, that means they have become uncorrelated, and you want to stop trading until they resume a normal pattern again. So, yeah, just kind of a thought. If you guys didn't already know that, I'm sure you did. But okay. What am I talking about? Euro. So again, Euro USD. Price traded up Monday, took out these highs here, and then Tuesday, one brief little pop above, failed to get any higher. Big rejection down on Tuesday. Wednesday, it was an inside trading day, didn't do anything, failed to get underneath the low from Tuesday as well. And really all price did was rebalance off of this 113.65 level. And they're just kind of trading inside of that range right now. They're really not doing a whole lot. So I want to see what happens when price gets back up to here. I'm able to do that. I want to see what happens when price gets back up to the opening of this candle here, and see if we see any type of reaction. So that is at 114.10 thereabouts. The open, yeah, 114.11. So I want to see what happens at that level. If we see price starting to continue to chug higher, then it's probably going to make a run for this this guy here. If it fails to get up to 114.10 or hits 114.10 and shows some kind of reaction, I may be inclined to get all over a short on it. Maybe. This Wednesday candle really traded up higher than it. I was hoping some sensitivity at that level, so it may not prove to be any sensitive level at all. But I do want to see what happens when 114.10 gets traded to. So I'm going to just dial down a little bit more, a little bit deeper. And that's basically right here, this level right here. So they did trade up technically to a level here that I would expect them, this old consolidation level that I would expect them to do, and they did have a nice reaction off that, but they definitely did not have a very deep retracement back down. So they could want to come up and trade up into this guy here. Anyway, I'm going to be watching it. I want to see what happens when price gets up to that 114.10 level, like I said. And that comes in right around 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right about there. So I'm going to watch and see what happens if they even want to trade up there. Who knows? Again, and if I didn't say this before, the other thing they could do is just sit here and trade sideways and do absolutely nothing for the next couple of days here. I would imagine we'll probably see some pretty good movements next week, but because of Thanksgiving today and then Black Friday, the next day we may not see a whole lot of activity. But again, a lot of Euro news on Friday as well too, so keep that in mind. Anyway, so if price comes up into here, I'm going to look and see what happens. If we see any sensitivity here, then I may, and I'm not going to be holding in for 100 or 50 pips or anything like that. It'd be like a quick 20, 30, maybe 40 pip scalp, and I'm out. So if price runs underneath this low, I would be done, to be quite honest with you. I might try and target maybe this area right here, and I would be kind of a one and done out for the rest of the week if you're not already done trading. I know some guys in our group, they picked up a couple of real good moves on Tuesday. One of our guys actually almost got the high, shorted the high on Tuesday. Just a beautiful move. Congratulations to him. I wish I did that. I didn't see it though. I was actually looking for this guy it ran up. I was looking for it to come down, retest off of here, and then continue higher. And we did not get that. So unfortunately, I was wrong. He got a great trade, and he's pretty much done for the week. That's all I needed. I think he had one big day, and it was, I don't know what he got exactly, but it was a 100 pip range if he held out right to the bottom of that. So anyway, if you're not already done for the week and you're still looking to grab a pip or two, if this trade did work out, then I would not be holding any longer, thinking that price is going to run under here or anything like that. I would just be 30, 40 pips in, out, done, call it a day. So we'll see what happens there. The other option on this guy here is this. I don't think it's likely for them to take out the high of Tuesday, but there's definitely no reason why they couldn't come up and take out this high here and retrade back into this consolidation level in here. That is definitely an option too. So, and that would be 114, 114.50, somewhere in around there. So that's an option as well. And if this high gets taken out, then that's what they're going to do. So if I'd be looking to get in, let's say I got in at 114.10 or somewhere in around there, and I decided to go short, I would have my stop probably right above these the bodies of these candles. So about 130, maybe 135 on the high end. Give yourself 20 pips. I wouldn't do any more than that. I'd maybe be like 15 pips. Because honestly, as soon as price got above this high here, I'd be probably looking at collapsing that trade. But I would have wanted to avoid them doing something like this, where they come up and just grab the high by 1 pip and then fall off in reverse. So that's why you don't want to put a stop right at the exact wick high, or 2 or 3 pips above. You want to give yourself a little bit of room, because sometimes different brokers and things like that, they will tend to go up and if your stop is sitting right there, they'll just boop, grab your stop and you get like my little noise there, boop, and then drop the price back down. So I have had that happen before several times. So give yourself a little margin of error, but not so much so where you're running into a drawdown of 20, 30 pips or anything like that, because you don't want to do a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. You want to do at least a minimum. Don't do, just as a general rule in trading, don't do any less than a 2 to 1. So if you're looking for a 40 pip run, then obviously a 20 pip stop would be the minimum that you would want to employ. And again, that would be if price ran up to the 114.10 level. A 20 pip stop would be 30 pips, boom, 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 which would be, again, like I say, just right above the candle body highs in these 1, 2, 3, 4 candles right there. That's about all I got on Euro USD. Pretty short, sweet, and simple. And I'm not looking at a lot of pairs or anything like that. The cable, I mean, this thing's just been nasty all week long. Monday started out going pretty much sideways, just hunting stops above market and below market, and then finished almost equal. Tuesday ran up, failed to get above the highs on Monday, and then dropped down and took out the low from Monday. And then Wednesday just sitting sideways. This has just been an ugly, ugly pair. I tried a couple of trades on it last week and didn't like the results too much, and so I'm, nothing in cable. As soon as price completed this range right in here, it became very unpredictable, and so not conducive to trading. So I would probably not be trading cable if I were you. But here's just a real quick idea, and only because, again, relatively equal highs above the market right here that they did not come to get from last week. So that could be on tap. They could jam price up here and then drop it. So we'll see what they want to do there. We shall see. And I wouldn't expect, like, if the Euro USD goes down, I would definitely not expect the cable to follow suit with it as normal. So if the US dollar goes up, I wouldn't expect the cable to go down for sure. Again, look at these price swings right here. Like I was talking to you before, price swing completed here, price swing completed here. But this was a real interesting price swing to start this week out here. As you can see, it just really hasn't done anything. It kind of ran up, ran back into the lows of these candles, and just kind of went nowhere. So, and then price has been stabbing 1, 2, 3 times up into here. Failure to get up so far. That's kind of indicative of a of resistance up in that area. But don't be surprised if they come and jam price up one more time before they roll price over. If lower is their intended direction. Like I say, don't be surprised if they come in and just do one quick, real fast candle up, reject, grab all the stops above, and then jam it lower. All I can say with cable is just don't get involved if you see something like, look at this, right? I mean, look at this candle here. That was I think it was like a 200 pip. Yeah, it was a 200 pip candle from last week on the 4 hour. Bring that in on a 1 hour, you can see that. Look at that. Like that was 1, 2, 3 candles, 3 hourly candles right there. And that took everybody out of the market. On the low side, on the high side, I mean, forget about it. Try trading that one with any high degree of accuracy. You may get lucky once, but if you try to keep going back in and pushing your luck, you're going to get burned on it. But like I say, they could come up and they could want to run for that. So, not that, I'm sorry, for this guy right down here. So just keep in mind they could do a quick stab and drop. But they could just drop it right from where it is too. They could just come above this high here. Don't know with the cable. So long story short, maybe don't trade the cable. Euro GBP is quite interesting. They really are pushing this guy here. I would expect them to come back down at some point in time and balance the range back down to this level down here. But they could keep pushing up higher to take out this swing high before they did that. And then ultimately, ultimately, look at this thing. I mean, look what this thing's been doing for the past, I don't know how long, since the middle of 2017. So for the past year and a half, this thing has been in a consolidation, not going anywhere. Stayed between these two red lines that I got here. So anybody's guess. If it comes down here, there's a good chance it's going to come back up in here. If it goes up here, there's a good chance it's going to come back down here. So it's pretty much about all I can tell you about the Euro GBP, and it will affect the pound and the pound and fiber just as equally. So, yeah. That's all I can say about that. Oh, US CAD. This was the idea I had on US CAD. So I'll start with the daily. We've been pushing up. Price came in, hammered this high right here, rejected, traded lower on the daily. Now we are coming down, and I believe, so I'm short right now. So I think when, sorry, this was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday came back down. Tuesday definitely could have created the high here, and Wednesday, Thursday it could come down. I'm going to go short for a little bit. I think just because they got through this block of price action in here, I think that means they may want to come down a little bit more and potentially rebalance off of these old highs in here. Again, just a real quick short and sweet trade. I'll zoom in a little bit for you here. This is about what am I at here? I just moved the stop just above these highs significantly enough where it's not going to take me out, but it's only about about 15, 17 pip stop with about a little over 30 pip gain. So just about 2 to 1. I'm just doing a real quick scalp on this here just to see if price will come back down and complete this price range in here. Nothing serious. But ultimately, so you look at this. So Monday started out, gradually started pushing higher. Tuesday came down and just had a big bullet of a day, big green candle on the daily straight up. And then Wednesday gave up a lot of that move back down. So if they want to keep going lower under here, great. I'm short right now, so that would be perfect. But I won't see that range, but I don't believe they're going to come and try to take out these lows right here. I think they could come down, rebalance down in here, and then probably garner some support and maybe make that other push, because ultimately I want to see this 133 level get run out on the upside, and then eventually up here. I think US CAD is probably going to go a lot higher still yet, but I'd like to see if they have enough energy to get above this high here before the end of the year. So we'll see what happens. Not expecting it, but if it does, great. So anyway, that's about it. I just kind of took the high as best as I could get it off of the Asian range in here. I missed this one little price spike up here, but just kind of got in the high of the Asian range and just want to see if it'll trade down to here. If it doesn't, no big deal. I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to let it get any higher than this high on the Asian range here. If it does want to go back up, I'm just kind of looking for this thing to sweep down, grab that, and then maybe see a bounce. So we'll see how that goes. And if that does happen, that would correlate to the same sort of price action happening with what I think was going to happen with the US dollar. We see this decline going into London and then hopefully gathering some support in here at the 96 level and then maybe potentially running higher. But we'll see what happens. US CAD's a little bit different of a animal, so it's not always guaranteed. Okay, crude oil. We hit our low on Tuesday. So I was calling 50. I was actually quite surprised that it came down on Tuesday and smashed that. This was a huge down day on crude oil. Hasn't had that many down days that big before. This guy was over $4, $4.50 a barrel we had one similar day a couple of weeks ago, but not even quite to the magnitude as that one. Big down day. They got to that level real quick, so they're in a big hurry to sink this thing. And if you look at the weekly, again, we just satisfied a couple of ranges right in here, so obvious rejection why you're seeing that. And now it's going to be just sort of a waiting game to see what they want to do. They could trade back up to the old weekly low rate here at 54.65. Which comes in, we're pretty close to it right now, and then reject and then continue lower again, or they could just start, this could be a completed price range and they could have a sizable retracement now, or they could just go sideways too, right? I'm not going to be trading crude oil just because I'm not trying to pick the bottom or anything like that, and this is a very extended price range and we haven't seen a big retracement lately. We had 4 little up candles right here from last week's trading, but Again, 52 level complete. And I had, so just, I don't know if this is the first time you're joining me or not, but just as an FYI, when price was all the way up here, I was given worst case scenarios that we could see price trade down to the 52 level. And I'm kind of sad to say that I was right on that, because I have a lot of interest in crude oil going up and going higher. And I definitely don't want to see it this depressed, but I'm hoping it doesn't go any lower. If we do go lower on the downside, then the 51 level, which isn't a big stretch from 52, and if we get lower than that, then the next level is down here where we have relatively equal lows down here at 42.12 level. Call it 42.12. We'll just maybe put that right on the low here. 42. Call it $42 even would be on the downside target range if this area of price gets traded into deeply. And that's where we could go. If we take a fib on this last price swing from lows to highs, you can see there is a 79% retracement level down to here. We almost hit the 72 coming in at that 52 level. Not quite though. So if this thing does want to trade down to the 79, could very well happen. But just know there could be some further downside on crude oil before this is over. And OPEC doesn't meet until the 6th of December. So, you know what? Let me just double check that. I've been saying the 6th of December here for a while. I just next OPEC meeting scheduled for December 6th. Oh, apparently it's the 175th OPEC meeting, and it is in Vienna, Austria. If any of you guys are over in Vienna, Austria, go over there and tell them to bring price up, for Christ's sake. Enough's enough. Anyway, so that's crude oil. Again, I'm not trying to pick the bottom here. I'm not saying things are going to reverse and go higher. I'm not saying they're going to go lower either. I'm just saying there's going to be a lot of uncertainty until those OPEC meetings are done on the 6th. They are talking about production cuts, so they could also, what they could do is start pricing those production cuts in early, and you could see price start to retrace quite early on it before the 6th. So that is also another option, but just be careful with it. Again, if you are a crude oil trader, great. I honestly would like to see this happen. Price come down, sweep underneath these lows here, come into here and fail, and then bounce higher. But I doubt it. I mean, they're probably just going to keep sinking price. They had a reaction on this reaction here and this same one in here. Typically, when price does something like that, it lends to the continuation to the downside. But you know, again, holiday trading, U.S. Will probably see price more than likely just go sideways for a little longer. We had crude oil inventory numbers on Wednesday, didn't do anything. That's where you see this price spike right here, and it just continued right back in the middle of the range. So that's where we could finish off the week, in all honesty. But that's crude oil, and I don't want to talk about that or this. S&P is so far failing to go underneath this low here. We'll see how long that takes. I'm kind of predicting S&P to go down lower. That's just me personally. They may want to come up and run these highs first before they do that. So they could come straight back up here, grab these, and then go down. Or just hover down here for a while and sit sideways and then go higher. You know, don't know. I'm not trading S&P right now. Dave also won't be back on Friday either. It's U.S. Thanksgiving. He's asked for the week off, so... I mean, there's not a whole lot going on Friday anyway, so we're just going to leave it for an open session. And if I feel like getting on the charts, maybe I will, but more than likely I'll just probably jump in next week. And also, just as a bit of news before I wrap up here, there is another gentleman who has expressed interest, who's an excellent, phenomenal trader. The guy's a beast on the charts. He's frequently calling levels and seeing amazing results. So he is looking at coming in and doing a live session for us on a New York Open, or maybe a London Open. Right now I do, obviously, London Open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Dave does New York Open on Wednesdays and Fridays, And so that would obviously leave a couple of days open, for a New York session maybe on a Thursday or a Tuesday, or even a London session on a Wednesday open. So, I'm doing my best to try and accommodate time schedules for everybody. There's only 2 times of the day that you want to be trading. It's London Open and it's New York Open. So it's about midnight till about 2 a.m. on London Open from midnight to about 3 a.m. New York time. Best time to trade. And then from about 6 a.m. to about... sorry, not 6 a.m. About 7:30, call it 8 a.m., whatever, till about 9, 10 a.m. New York time is the best time to trade. Sorry, I'm trying to do the conversion between my local time and New York time, because I'm not in New York time. I'm 2 hours behind it, so I always get thrown off. I gotta I gotta watch the clocks quite frequently and make sure I'm on the right times. So anyway, that's kind of the best times of day to be trading. So I know everyone's from different parts of the world and trying to accommodate to that. Hopefully, by doing either the London or the New York session, it is appealing to some of you guys at some point in time throughout the day, and you can get in on a live session and check us out and take advantage of some of the trades that we're doing. But anyway, so just like I said, just a little bit of news. That's sort of what is going on, and may not happen for a little while. He's just kind of getting his feet wet in that whole thing, and probably start off slowly. But real excited to start working with him. I think he's going to be an incredible asset, and I think you guys are going to get a ton of value out of it as well too. So anyway, I'll let you know in more detail once we get things ironed out on when that's going to happen. So that's about it, guys. I'm looking at this stuff and I don't see anything that look at cocoa dropping nicely. Coffee had a big run up and a nice sell off here so far. We came down and filled this range in here, but didn't have the reaction that I liked off of that range, so we could continue down a little bit further on coffee. Oh, I did want to talk about, just real quick here, orange juice had a nice reaction. I don't know if you guys remember I was saying I wanted to see what was going to happen on the reaction of this level from orange juice. I completely forgot about this damn thing. Look at that. Beautiful reaction off of that. 1, 2, 3 days straight up, and so far we're starting to push up into this range in here. It does, this area in here, orange juice does start a seasonal bullish trend for the next few months. So just as an FYI, you can see in here like this nice little bull run right here from December, early December to late December, and then we had another big bull run in the spring of last year. But seasonally speaking, historically, this tends to run from about this time of the year. So, and it continues right into the spring. So we'll see what happens. But I like this. I like the pop, like how it came up. I'd like to see them come back down and reject back lower, and then fail to get lower than these candles here, and come right back down into this range in here, and then start to see a run higher. That is basically where I would be looking at 133, 133.70. Sorry, 130. Whoops. If I could get it, 65, whatever. Call it good. But I don't want to see price, if we do get a bounce, so if price does run into this consolidation area, what I'm looking for is this, basically right here, is for price to run up into it, fail, come back down, and then bounce somewhere in this area here, and then do this. This right here is a bread and butter setup right there. That's all day long, every day. If you can get that, you will make a fortune trading. You just got to be patient and wait for it, though. And it may never happen. And I'll give you an example. Look at, well, what the hell was it? Was it sugar? So well, sugar did it. Sugar did it. Look, that is exactly what sugar did. Ran up. And I've been talking about sugar all year. Came down, failed, and then bam, big move up higher. It did it here as well too. Sugar popped up, rebounded off of a logical area of resistance, came back down, failed to get lower, bam, smashed up. Now I was honestly looking for a higher trade on sugar and didn't get it. Came down and retraced deeper, so that does happen sometimes. But beautiful move. Like, so that's what we're looking for. Obviously, that's, you know, all day, every day. That's copper hasn't given us that reaction yet. We started to see it in here where we were moving down, and then boom, 3-4 days of straight up price action. And then we've just been sort of meandering sideways ever since. I do like copper. We are starting to get bullish on copper. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this. I'm going to wrap this up because we're coming up to an hour here. I think we're going to see higher prices on copper, but I don't think they're done consolidating it quite yet. I say that now, and then they're probably just going to smash this thing to the moon tomorrow or something like that and come above these equal highs up here. But you know, we'll see what happens on copper. I do like copper for bullish activity. And so far, it's been very, very sensitive into this price level here. So we'll see if that continues or not. But I did just want to talk to you briefly about sugar. No, net gas. Where the hell was it? It's Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin getting smashed this week. If this is the first you've seen it, I doubt it. But I talked about this earlier in the week. And just a big down move on Bitcoin. Hasn't seen a big down move like this in a while. And they're doing it pretty quickly as well, too. So the past 2 days, they haven't really been doing anything. And which rightly so, after a big move like this, they typically walk price sideways for a bit. And then when everyone thinks that this is the bottom, and they're buying, and they smash price down again. That's how it works, guys. So don't be surprised if we see price come all the way down to the 3,000 level. You see this big solid blue line right here? This is, I'll make it thicker. This could be their target right here and just sweeping below that. So they're doing a pretty damn good job of smashing price right now. Don't be surprised if it continues. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. If you guys have any questions, I'll give you 1 minute to post it until my timer says 55 minutes. And I'm going to shut this guy down here because I'm done. Been a brutal week, actually, for me. I've been, last week I was, for a couple of days, I was fighting something, and then I started feeling good towards the end of last week and felt great on the weekend. Thought I got over it without any downtime. And then only to pick up right where I left off on Sunday night. Monday night. Monday, starting to feel terrible, and then all day Tuesday and just feeling miserable, and even into Wednesday here I was not feeling very great this week. So unfortunately I haven't beaten it yet, so I'm hoping to retire early here and get a good night's sleep, and which is why I'm not really doing any trading. I've got one limit order sitting, or not one limit order, I've got an active order sitting. It's not doing anything. If it goes up, I don't care. If it goes down, great. It'll fill this price range in that I'm looking for it to do. And then I'm going to watch Euro to see, like I was saying to you, to see if we can get a potential move, see if we get a failure swing up into here. And if I see something like that, then maybe I'll take a little position, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not really going to bank on it. So, and that's it. I'm not looking at anything else. There's nothing that catches my eye, and you shouldn't either, honestly, guys. You should really be out of the markets for the rest of the week. So anyway, it is 55 minutes and then some have elapsed. I don't see any questions, so I appreciate your time. I'm going to escape, and again, Dave won't be in on Friday. So this is going to wrap up this week's trading. It's Thanksgiving. If you guys are in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a great couple of days off here, and we'll get back into the charts again come on Monday next week. And just again, we're going into holiday trading here, going into December. So keep the trading light going forward. I'm not going to be pushing anything too much. If we see a good, decent setup, great. But I won't be making a whole lot of calls or anything like that for from now until the new year, just because it's pretty unpredictable and holiday volume sort of kicks in and you kind of get price not doing a whole bunch. So, but what I will do and what I will promise you to do is one commodity per day for, well, maybe not one per day. I don't know if I'll have that time that I can commit to it, but I will do every single commodity, every single major traded commodity in a couple of major Forex pairs, and I will do a yearly forecast and just give you some of my thoughts on the market, give you some ideas on the strength of them, what to look for, and some potential trades coming out on the horizon that you could position yourselves in to capitalize on and really, really do some damage in the markets for next year. So it all starts, it's like pre-planning your year. It's like setting your goals, basically. If you guys don't do that and set your goals every single December before the new year, it's a good habit to get in. You should start doing that. Just on a piece of paper, write down, this is what I want to accomplish this year. This is how I'm going to do it. It's exactly what it is with trading. You say, this is what I want to accomplish, and this is how I'm going to do it. And you mark it on your charts, and you leave it there. Take some screenshots, put it into your journal, and you've got that for when the time comes. So. Anyway, so like I said, I'll start with those commodity videos the first week of December, and I'll wrap that up before Christmas time, so you guys can kind of just enjoy your time over Christmas, and you can watch those videos. There'll be recordings. You can watch those at your leisure, and you can set your year up for it next year. And just so you know, if you're part of my YouTube channel, I appreciate that. I appreciate your support. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you like this video. And maybe a comment or two, recommend it, just tell a friend, something like that. That'd be great. Would appreciate that. But those commodity videos, just so you know, I am not making those public. They will be private to my members group only at f45trading.com. So if you want to check that out and you want those commodity videos, go to f45trading.com and you can sign up there, and you can check that all out there. So that's all I got. So I'll remind you about that again a little bit later into next week, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you next week.